I live in a modest neighborhood where everyone's just trying to get by. My family's no exception, money's tight, and every penny counts. To stretch our budget, I've poured my heart into a small garden in our front yard. It's not much, just a patch of tomatoes, beans, zucchini, and herbs, but it's a lifeline. Those veggies mean we eat healthier, save on groceries, and maybe have a little left over for bills. I'm no farmer, but I've spent hours weeding, watering, and chasing off rabbits to keep it thriving. It's my pride and joy, a tiny victory in a world that feels like it's always kicking us when we're down. Then my neighbor, a well-meaning guy with a big heart, set up one of those community farm stands by his driveway. You know the kind. People drop off extra produce, canned goods, or whatever, and anyone can take what they need. It's a sweet idea, especially these days when life's rough for so many. I was all for it at first, but then things went sideways. People started wandering into my yard, helping themselves to my tomatoes and beans. At first, I thought it was a mistake. Maybe they thought my garden was part of the stand. So I put up signs. Private garden, do not pick. I strung up a low rabbit fence, even angled a tarp to block the view from the road. Didn't matter. People kept coming. I caught kids being hoisted over the fence to grab handfuls of my produce, and adults weren't much better. Some hopped the barrier like it was nothing. One evening, I snapped. I saw a woman directing her kid to yank tomatoes off my plants. I shouted, "Hey, stop! Those aren't for you!" She had the nerve to tell her kid to hurry up, then tried to bolt. I chased her down, not my proudest moment, but I was livid. I asked what her problem was, and she flipped it on me, saying I was overreacting about a couple tomatoes, and how dare I swear in front of her kid. I told her stealing is stealing, and those tomatoes were for my family. She just rolled her eyes and left. The next day, I went to my neighbor, trying to keep things civil. I suggested moving his farm stand to the other side of his driveway, next to a neighbor who doesn't have a garden out front. He brushed me off, saying we could talk about it after the season. I asked if he could at least put up bigger signs or tell people to stay out of my yard. His response? Can you really not afford to share? I lost it. I told him people weren't taking my zucchini because they're starving. They're taking my tomatoes because they want them. I don't owe anyone my hard work. He said I'd have to learn to live with it, and that we'd find a community solution later. I told him I don't care about the community right now. I care about people stealing from me. Things escalated last night. I caught a guy in his 50s picking my beans. I grabbed the hose and sprayed him. Yeah, not my finest hour, but I was done. He yelled, my neighbor came out yelling, and now the neighborhood's buzzing about how I'm the bad guy scaring people away from their community resource. I told my neighbor I'd keep making a scene until he does something about the thieves. He thinks I'm unhinged, but I'm just trying to feed my family. The cops here won't care. Trust me, I've tried that route before. So I'm stuck making more signs, maybe about pesticides or stealing from hungry kids, and scouring Craigslist for cheap fencing. I'm at my wit's end. Am I the asshole for asking my neighbor to move their farm stand? Thanks for listening, and if you want to hear more interesting stories, just click the link below.